It's whiskey time today, and we're on site at Laphroaig. I'm Luke.
And I'm Devin, and we are sitting on a picturesque site right next to Laphroaig.
Wow.
The distillery is right behind us. We have purchased today for your viewing pleasure and our drinking pleasure a Laphroaig Quarter Cask bottle. Directly from the source here.
We're going to do an unboxing.
We're going to do it's an unboxing show now.
I'll hold your glass.
Thank you.
Open that thing up.
It has a nice
very nice top.
tin top. All right.
What do you got there in the side?
Looks like it's a passport to Islay. Claim
nice.
Okay, so we have signed up. If you come and visit Islay, I guess we should talk about that first. If you like Islay whiskey, you should come to Islay and tour around.
It's amazing. You got to go to the distilleries where the stuff is made, direct to the source.
And so we just did a tasting here at Laphroaig, and you actually only get to taste one for free. It was a little disappointing. But yesterday we went to Bruichladdich, and when you go there, you can taste basically anything you want. Unlimited tastings as part of our tour.
Except for the too expensive
Except for two of them that cost
a lot.
Like 300 pounds or something, yeah. But we did get to try some amazing $200 scotch as part of our unlimited tastings at the Bruichladdich distillery. So I highly recommend Bruichladdich distillery.
And also today we signed up for the Friends of Laphroaig.
Right.
So we collected our rent, which is a small dram of the Laphroaig 10.
So when you sign up for Friends of Laphroaig, and that's what this little pamphlet is talking about, you get a lot number, you get a 1 square foot plot of land behind the distillery across the road, and you can actually try on some boots and go visit it if you'd like, which we.
All right, but you got distracted.
I got distracted. Okay, so we're here for whiskey. I've got the whiskey.
Open that thing up. Oh,
boom! There it is. Put down the box. It is a quarter cask.
48% volume.
All right, so.
It's aged in quarter casks.
Right, so a quarter cask is a smaller than a regular cask.
1/4 of a normal cask?
That would make sense.
I guess.
And so the purpose of that is to absorb, so that
get more taste from the wood.
Right, the whiskey has more contact with the wood by volume. So we've actually never tried this. This is a blind tasting. So we borrowed these from our
we'll give them back.
We'll give them back, but we borrowed them from next door. They didn't.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't ask to borrow them, but we did borrow them.
Put that thing somewhere safe.
Yes. So we shall now commence with the drinking. First the sniff.
Cheers. Smoky.
So it smells smoky, but it smells sweet.
Still a little caramely smoke.
Which is not what I expect from a Laphroaig, because if you've ever tried Laphroaig, it has a very bold, very distinctive smoky flavor, and this actually does not smell like the other Laphroaig that we've had.
Let's try it out.
But it does taste like it.
Mm.
So it has actually the distinctive Laphroaig peat burning taste, but also
a little more woody.
Also
That's
some
tasty,
woody.
I like it.
Yeah, I would say it tastes woody, a little sweet. It's easier to drink than the 10-year-old.
It's very smooth.
So, yeah, there we go.
But yeah, it's not too, the peat, the smoke isn't too, it's not like a punch in the face. It's pretty, it's like a relaxed punch in the face, kind of chill.
Like a gloved punch in the face.
Yeah, that's good. A padded glove punch.
Padded glove. It's much easier to drink than the 10-year-old, I'd say.
So while we were here, you were looking a little bit at the history. You want to tell us a little bit?
Right. So the history of Laphroaig. So inside of the tasting area, they have this whole museum about the history. So I'll give you a very brief summary of what I could remember. as we walked out here. So it was in 1815, the Johnston brothers started making whiskey on their family farm. And
Was that somewhere around here?
I assume, yeah, right here.
Across the street, maybe?
Across the street, probably not on the rocks here, but across the street. And so one of the brothers moved to Australia, emigrated, and the one who stayed, he actually had a tragic death where he fell into a burnt vat of beer.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, so that was a bad way to go, probably. But so then his son, who was 11 years old, inherited the distillery, and he was too young, of course, to run a distillery at 11 years old. So actually, the Lagavulin, which is right up the road, the manager at Lagavulin ran the distillery until he was of age.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then it's passed down through, I guess, every time someone dies. So this son, his name was Dougie, I think, something like that, similar. I should have written it down, but I didn't. So anyways, so when he died, he had no sons or daughters, so he was childless, and then there was this kind of fight for
Game of Thrones.
Ownership. Yeah, and so then
Game of Stills.
yeah. So one of his sisters ended up winning, because he actually had 3 conflicting wills. So one of his sisters ended up winning the argument to take over the distillery.
So then it was run by a woman.
Well, no, not yet.
No, not yet.
She just owned it.
Oh, the owner. Okay.
And then, I don't know, a bunch of stuff happened that I didn't try to memorize until more recently, because this was like 1800s, right? 19th century. So then, one of the more modern time owners, he hired someone named Bessie, and she came on as a typist. And she planned on only staying in Islay for 3 months, but she ended up staying for 50 years. And so she started as a typist and ended up, the owner realized that she was very intelligent, and so she kept getting promoted. And then when the owner died, she inherited everything. And she became the first female distiller in the 20th century.
Owner-operator.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. And then when she was getting up there in years, she ended up selling selling part of her share to a large corporation so that they could have a worldwide presence.
And so now they're owned by Suntory, huh?
And so now, yeah, so a couple of changes later, they are now owned by Suntory, the Japanese company who makes Suntory
Hibiki
whiskey.
Yeah.
Suntory Times.
Oh.
Anyways, that's all I can remember from.
Yeah, the unofficial abbreviated history
Right.
from one pass through the museum.
Right.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you for that history, sir.
So there it is. And after this, we're going to go to the Lagavulin, or no, maybe Ardbeg. I don't know. They're all here. You have to come if you like Islay whiskey. Make the trip. It's worth it.
It's wonderful.
We have this beautiful day here with the sunshine, and
Quite lucky. Yesterday was a little bit gray, but
yep,
today is nice.
it's perfect. So come on out.
Perfect day for whiskey.
Cheers.